Hi, I'm Elise, this is Which Way, and in this video I will be taking you through the evolution of the sea witch in the film adaptations of the classic fairy tale, The Little Mermaid. The original fairy tale was written by Hans Christian Andersen in the mid-1800s. The Little Mermaid, for whom this story is named, is a princess who falls in love with a human prince after saving him from a shipwreck. She travels to a sea witch and exchanges her tongue for a pair of legs and the chance to marry the prince and obtain an immortal soul. If she fails and the prince marries another, she dies. The prince indeed falls in love with another, so the princess's sisters also go to the sea witch, exchanging their long, beautiful hair for a knife that, should the Little Mermaid kill the prince with, the blood that flows from him will return her legs to a tail. She cannot bring herself to do it and flings herself into the waves, turning into sea foam, but is then offered redemption. You can hear the story in full here on my channel, but until then, here are the witches in the films this tale inspired. The very first adaptation was in 1961 with Shirley Temple's storybook, where the sea witch appears as a mermaid, a merwitch if you will, using a crystal ball to scry on the Little Mermaid and trades not the Little Mermaid's voice, but black pearls and coins from drowned sailors' eyes. In exchange, she gives the Little Mermaid a potion to transform her tail to legs and warns that it will be painful. The merwitch then bargains with the Little Mermaid's grandmother, who trades 50 years of her life for a dagger that will turn the prince into a merman. This merwitch is portrayed by Nina Faw, who also plays the witch Mother Rigby in 1972's The Scarecrow. But back to our merwitches. Our next sea witch appears in 1966's film The Daydreamer. In this stop-motion animation, she too is a mermaid, but has a Medusa-like appearance with snakes in her hair, and offers a potion to transform the Little Mermaid, as the witch knows that it will bring the mermaid heartbreak.
And that pleases me greatly.
Next is a visually stunning adaptation from 1968. Unfortunately, our Madam Witch is straight up a redfish with wild hair. The Little Mermaid exchanges her voice with the witch for a potion that will give her legs. In this version, the Little Mermaid's sisters then trade their long hair and all of their riches to the witch in exchange for a bottled storm that the mermaid can release and sink the prince's wedding ship, which would return her form. Again, the witch gives her this second chance. In 1974's The Little Mermaid, we have the wizened enchantress of the sea who commands the oceans. She actually summons the storm that wrecks the prince's ship in the first place. She resides in a lighthouse at the bottom of the sea made of the bones of drowned sailors. She too grants the Little Mermaid's wish to become human, making her a potion in exchange for her voice. Again, the Little Mermaid's sister trades her hair to the sea witch for a dagger that must be used to kill the prince and will return the Little Mermaid to the sea. In 1975, the sea witch is modelled after a stingray, a sea snake draped around her. She too can command storms, using electric eels to elicit lightning strikes, sinking ships being her goal. When the Little Mermaid comes to her, she brews up a potion for the mermaid, warning she will turn to stone should she fail to win the prince's love. Again, another trade is made by the sisters with the witch for a dagger to kill the prince. In 1976, we have two adaptations. One has the first witch on this list that is not from the sea. She runs a tavern but practices witchcraft on the side. She is brought to the Little Mermaid and, like in the first film, she leaves the mermaid's voice intact and trades instead this mermaid's unique hair colour. She helps the mermaid again when her prince dies, as this witch has the power of resurrection. but the cost is the prince will no longer see the Little Mermaid. The next 1976 adaptation is one of my favourites on the list. It's absolutely gorgeous. These mermaids do not have tails but are still unable to walk the land. The Little Mermaid goes to the sea witch who controls fire under the water, so that's impressive. She also makes the Little Mermaid a potion in exchange for her voice, which will allow her to walk on land without melting. But this is the last we see of this witch in this adaptation. In Shelley Duvall's fairy tale theatre adaptation from 1987, the sea witch, though annoying, warns the Little Mermaid several times of her choice before trading her voice for some legs, giving her a second chance again when the Little Mermaid's sisters trade their hair to the witch for a dagger to kill the prince and return the mermaid's tail. Next up is Disney's 1989 adaptation, which has the sea witch play a larger role as the film's villain. This is the first time our witch gets a proper name, Ursula, and the iconic makeup, white hair, and long black tentacles. She is in exile and uses her familiar type eels to spy on the Little Mermaid.
They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch.
After luring the Little Mermaid to her, she convinces her to give up her voice in exchange for legs and gives the mermaid only 3 days to secure a kiss from the prince to make the transformation permanent. Otherwise, the Little Mermaid belongs to her. The witch decides to intervene and stop this kiss from happening, transforming herself into a human woman and enchanting the prince with the mermaid's stolen voice. She prevents the kiss and uses the Little Mermaid to blackmail the Mer King into handing over control of the seas. This is the first time we see the witch motivated by revenge and hungering for more power. In 2000, we even got a sequel to the Disney film where Ursula's sister Morgana transforms the Little Mermaid's human daughter into a mermaid in the hopes of accomplishing what her sister could not, the ability to rule the oceans. This appearance of the sea witch was also drawn upon in the series Once Upon a Time, where the evil Queen Regina would impersonate Ursula, said to be an ancient sea goddess. And later in the series, Ursula would appear as a character unto herself, with a backstory very much like the Little Mermaid, though transforming her own tail to tentacles. The success following Disney's adaptation also spawned another cartoon in 1992 with a happy ending, with the sea witch Cassandra, who has an eel tail and white hair, the makeup clearly trying to replicate a bit of Ursula's look.
Pathetic.
The Little Mermaid here trades her voice, and the sea witch gives her legs while cackling all the while. Another cartoon adaptation in 1998 has the sea witch as a literal stingray, but she still manages to brew up a potion for the Little Mermaid. And again, the sisters trade their long hair, but this time for a potion. In 2013, we again got an adaptation closer to the classic fairy tale, with the sea witch visited by the Little Mermaid to exchange her voice for a potion that will give her legs. The mermaid's sisters also visit the sea witch, again trading their hair for a dagger that will reverse her transformation. In 2015, we have the stop-motion animation Little from the Fish Shop, and it looks as though this is a very different take, though I could only find the trailer. It does seem that the Little Mermaid visits the sea witch in her sewer lair to make a trade. It also appears that her family also makes some kind of exchange for a dagger to kill the mermaid's lost love. If anyone knows where to find this, please let me know. 2018 saw another very loose adaptation. This is our first and only wizard on the list with whom the mermaid has traded her soul. He is the ringmaster of a travelling circus, using the mermaid as an attraction. But don't worry, this time there is a good witch to help set her free. And of course, 2023 saw the live-action remake of Disney's The Little Mermaid. This time, it is confirmed that the Mer King is Ursula's brother. Again, she uses her eel friends to spy on the Little Mermaid, but can also project herself through them. She too takes the Little Mermaid's voice to make a spell to give her legs, also adding one of the mermaid's scales to her brew. But she also makes the mermaid forget that she only has 3 days to seal the spell with a kiss. When this nearly happens, Ursula again transforms herself into a human and bewitches the prince. The Little Mermaid does not receive her kiss in time, and Ursula again blackmails the Mer King to gain power over the seas and revenge for being exiled. This isn't the only Little Mermaid to be released in 2023. Again, I can only find the trailer, but we have another animated adaptation. The Little Mermaid goes to Ravenna, the sea witch, exchanges her voice for legs, and has 1 year to marry the prince, though it looks like the Mer Witch comes for her. Ravenna is voiced by Dee Wallace, who has had many witchy roles in the past, such as in The Lords of Salem, Hansel and Gretel, All Hallows Eve, and Just Add Magic. There have also been several TV series adapting the tale of The Little Mermaid, though I just focused on films for this list. Who was your favourite sea witch? Though I did like the 1974 and 1975 versions with their ability to summon storms, Ursula holds a special place in my heart. And with the confirmed family link in the new adaptation, I'm really hoping for an Ursula origin story. I wonder what the next adaptation of The Little Mermaid will be and what role the sea witch will play. Again, go and have a listen to the original fairy tale and let me know what you would like to see worked into the next adaptation of this classic fairy tale in the comments below. Like this video and share it around as it really helps out. And as always, thank you very much for watching here on Which Way.